everyone, and welcome to this week's Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here, fresh out of the shower, I'm literally I just got out of the shower and sat down right here, and so my hair is dripping all over my back, and I probably, to those of you who don't know that I shower before these, I probably look really sweaty, but that's what it is, it's shower time. Let's give a big thank you to our Naked Army vloggers from last week. That's Kavaha, Hiram, Nathan, Nicholas, Tom, Rachel, James, Chrisanne, Prescott, and Kristen, Christopher, Julia, Lawrence, and Ryan. Thank you guys for being so brave, I guess, to share your thoughts on racism. I know that's not an easy one to talk about, but I think that everyone had a lot of very different things to say, and that was awesome. So if you guys want to check out what they did last week, you can check those out. I will link to them in the description below. This week I'm really excited for the topic because it's something that I can't really talk about with people in my day-to-day life. I can only really talk about it with people that are on the internet. So my internet friends, I'm really looking forward to your input on this one because it's something that I have mixed feelings about. So let's talk about white knighting. White knighting is a derogatory term used on the internet, but in its most general sense, what it means is rushing to someone or something's aid, like a knight on a stallion, like rushing in, like the hero to save them from their plight. And I found out in my research for this vlog that it actually can be applied to rushing into an investment opportunity right before it's about to go under, and lots of things that are in real life and not just on the internet. But I think that it makes me think about it the most on the internet because, well, I work on the internet and I essentially live on the internet, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do for the most part with your free time. So I think in life, having kind of the white knight mentality, which is being addressed, this issue is kind of being addressed in Orange is the New Black right now. I'm not going to say any more about it because spoilers if you're not caught up. But, you know, this mentality in real life can be very sticky and very dangerous because if you think like, well, I'm being a good person and that's great, but you're expecting something back from it, that's where it gets a little bit sticky. So you want to save somebody, but because you have an ulterior motive other than you just want to save them, and sometimes you're saving people that aren't asking to be saved, again, because you have ulterior motives. And this is in real life, but I think it also applies to this discussion when we're talking about the internet, so it's important to bring up. So when we're talking about internet white knighting, and the reason that I say I have mixed feelings on this is because I do believe that when you see someone being an asshole, you should be able to speak up and say like, hey, you're being an asshole, and that those assholes or trolls will use white knighting as a derogatory term to put down anyone that stands in their way when really it might not be that situation. But on the flip side of that coin, when you're white knighting or you're standing up for someone with some kind of ulterior motive or with the mindset that that person can't stand up for themselves, that's not a good thing either. So I can't say that white knighting is necessarily all a bad thing, and I can't say that it's necessarily all a good thing. And again, this is where I'm looking for your input because I'm sure that you guys probably have a lot of strong opinions on this, being that you use online forums, whether it be YouTube or Reddit or Facebook or Twitter, whatever it is, you use them frequently as well. And so I want to see what your opinions are. Some of the very negative parts of white knighting are, you know, a lot of people associate white knighting with specific gender, and they'll say that it's a guy defending a girl because he's looking to get laid. That's the white knight meme that's out there, is, you know, this person is hoping to win the love and affection of this person by defending them. And so that's seen very negatively, of course, by trolls because they're like, you know, obviously you're not going to get laid by this person. They never met you, you stupid, stupid fool. And it's also seen negatively by super extreme feminists who will attack the white knight and say, what do you mean this woman can't defend herself? Like, you can articulate her opinion better than she can. Get out of here. So that could really keep people from defending other people. And granted, yes, if you have the assumption that this person can't take care of themselves, so you have to step in and do that, and it's an assumption strictly based on gender, that's not a good thing. Also, if you're doing it with ulterior motives in mind, that is also not a good thing. But when you take gender completely out of the equation and you think of it as, you know, a person defending another person, as long as they're not doing it with ulterior motives. They're doing it because they're like, hey, what this person said is wrong and it offends me personally, and I feel the need to stand up to this person because of my personal beliefs. So you're doing it for you. You're standing up for what you think is right, regardless of what the outcome will be. Then I think it's important that you do that. I think too often the term white knight is used derogatory, and it's in a derogatory way, and I think it's used by bullies, essentially, cyber bullies and trolls, to gang up on anyone who disagrees with them. You know, how dare you be a white knight, stupid, stupid, stupid. And it makes people who may have had really good intentions going into it second guess themselves, second guess their opinions, and back down. And then those people are more fearful to stand up in a forum for what they think is right in the future. And that's really, really shitty. The only time that I think that white knighting in general can be seen as a positive thing in forums is when it's not called white knighting, it's called shepherding. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's where essentially instead of just going in and saying, hey, don't say that to that person, that's mean, you're saying, hey, don't say that because you're wrong because of fact A, B, and C. And you really articulate your opinion in a really strong way, so much so that other people in the forum, in the community, are like, actually, that person's kind of right. And you see the tide start to change. But there's a fine line between white knighting and shepherding. And in my opinion, that line lies in any kind of ulterior motive, trying to get anything out of it. And it lies in if you're actually defending a point, or if you're just stepping in and saying, I'm a nice person and you're a mean person and stop being mean. Which in real life, I don't think that there's anything wrong with stepping in and saying, hey, stop being mean to this person. So it's interesting to me that it's looked so unfavorably upon on the internet. So again, I kind of question my own opinions on this all of the time. And this, I've been thinking about it a lot because as I am putting out a lot of new work onto the web, whether it be escapist or movie fights or superfan builds, these are people that I am new to them as an audience and as a community, and especially being a happy, optimistic person online is not always the coolest thing. I've never been the coolest person, so that's not new to me. But there's a lot of attack in those communities directed right at the shish, which, again, I'm no stranger to dealing with. But there are times when people are just really shitty, and I'm like, man, I wish someone would just say, hey, person, you're being super shitty, and here's why. But then at the same time, I also fear for those people that they're going to get ganged up upon. And also there's something to be said for not feeding the trolls. And it gets very complicated. So my question for you guys this week is, do you think that standing up for someone in a forum is a good thing or a bad thing, and why? So you can either let me know in the comments, you can let me know in a Naked Truth vlog of your own if you so choose. And I know it's been a while since I've said it, but for those who are thinking about making a Naked Truth for the first time, if you go to the About section of this channel and click the For Business Inquiries, that's how you can send me a link to your video, and make sure that you let me know if you want me to share it with the community or not. So yeah, I guess, as always, be nice to each other in the comment section, and make sure to tune in to my new stuff that I'm doing, and, leave a little positivity, even if it's, not in response to any negativity, but just positive vibes all around. And if there's something that you think on those programs I could be doing better, I would really appreciate that feedback too. So those are all listed in the various... Oh no, that's my alarm! Sorry. Continuing on, those are all listed in the various Trisha sightings on YouTube playlist on my main channel page. So guys, my alarm went off, which means that it's time for me to eat dinner. I know, I'm so scheduled out, it's ridiculous. I love you guys. I miss you from week to week. I know that might sound silly, but it's absolutely true. And I will see you next Wednesday. Actually, I'll see you on Friday with a new tech vid, and then next Wednesday for the Naked Truth. Okay, bye guys.